You are listening to Bedtime Dreamy Tales. Subscribe to our channel for new story. Story title, The Snow Daughter and the Fire Son. Once upon a time, in a quaint little village surrounded by snowy mountains, there lived a couple named Hilda and Arne. They were kind-hearted and hard-working, but were deeply saddened by the absence of children in their lives. Their cozy cottage, filled with warmth and love, echoed with silence. One bright winter's day, as the sun glistened off the snow, Hilda and Arne stood outside their cottage, admiring the beautiful icicles hanging from the roof. Hilda sighed, "Arne, I wish we had as many children as there are icicles hanging here." Arne chuckled and replied, "Nothing would make me happier, my dear." As if in answer to her wish, a tiny icicle broke free and fell into Hilda's mouth. She swallowed it with a smile and said, "Perhaps now I will give birth to a snow child." Arne laughed at his wife's fanciful idea, and they returned to their cozy cottage, warmed by the thought. To their astonishment, Hilda soon gave birth to a baby girl as white as snow and as cold as ice. They named her Snow Daughter. She thrived in the cold, and whenever they brought her near the fire, she screamed until she was returned to the cool air. Snow Daughter grew quickly, running and speaking within months. She loved winter and spent her days playing outside, delighting in the cold. However, as summer approached, Snow Daughter insisted on staying in the cellar, finding the warmth unbearable. The villagers marveled at the extraordinary child, and Hilda and Arne became accustomed to their unique daughter. Years passed, and one stormy winter's night, as Snow Daughter played joyfully outside, Hilda and Arne sat by the fire discussing their daughter's peculiarities. Hilda sighed deeply. "I wish I had given birth to a fire son." At that moment, a spark from the fire leapt into Hilda's lap. Laughing, she said, "Perhaps now I will give birth to a fire son." Arne chuckled at the thought, but soon Hilda gave birth to a baby boy, as red as fire and as hot to touch. They named him Fire Son. He screamed until placed near the fire and avoided his cold sister. Fire Son grew rapidly, always seeking warmth. He basked in the heat of the hearth, while Snow Daughter found refuge in the cold corners of the house. Their parents faced many challenges raising the two extraordinary children, who avoided each other to escape discomfort. In summer, Fire Son lay in the sun, while Snow Daughter hid in the cellar. Despite their differences, a deep bond formed between them, nurtured by their parents' love. As time passed, Snow Daughter blossomed into a beautiful woman, and Fire Son grew into a strong young man. When their parents died, they felt a great emptiness, but decided to venture into the world together. Fire Son expressed concern. "How can we travel together when your presence freezes me and mine burns you?" Snow Daughter smiled, revealing two fur cloaks. "I have a plan, dear brother. These cloaks will help us bear each other's presence. We shall embark on this journey together." With their fur cloaks, they set off, finding joy in each other's company for the first time. They traveled far and wide, encountering various adventures and helping those in need. One day, as winter approached, they found themselves in a vast forest and decided to stay until spring. Fire Son built a hut with a roaring fire, while Snow Daughter reveled in the cold air outside. One day, the king of the land, during a hunt, spotted Snow Daughter wandering gracefully. Intrigued by her beauty and resilience to the cold, he approached her and learned about her extraordinary nature. Charmed, the king asked Snow Daughter to be his wife. She consented, and a grand wedding followed. The king built her an underground palace of ice that remained frozen even in summer. For Fire Son, he constructed a house surrounded by ovens, kept blazing day and night. Life continued peacefully until the king hosted a grand feast and invited Fire Son. When Fire Son arrived, his intense heat drove the guests outside. Angered by the disruption, the king exclaimed, "If I had known the trouble you would cause, I would never have taken you in." Fire Son, with a mischievous smile, replied, "Don't be angry, brother. I love the heat as much as my sister loves the cold. Come, let me embrace you, and I will leave immediately." Before the king could react, Fire Son embraced him tightly. The king screamed in agony, and Snow Daughter, rushing to help, found her husband burnt to a cinder. Enraged and heartbroken, she attacked her brother. Their fierce battle attracted the entire court. The heat from Fire Son melted Snow Daughter, while her icy touch extinguished his flames. The The courtiers watched in horror as the siblings perished, leaving behind a tragic tale of love and destruction. Thus ended the story of the Snow Daughter and the Fire Son, a tale of extraordinary siblings whose love could not conquer their differences, forever remembered in the kingdom as a cautionary tale of nature's powerful forces. If you like this story, please give this video a like. For more stories, go to bedtimedreamytales.com. See you in the next story.